Sorry for my voice, I've got a bit of a nasty cold, but I'm going to go over some of the preliminary before I set this video rolling. Here's the hardware specifics from HW Info. It's an AMD 9950X 3D, 96 GB of RAM, and it's running a GPU NVIDIA 5090. I had to go into iniBuilds application to set some of the scenery features. I actually had to disable some, the Venice Beach POI pack and the Hooper helicopter port, ground clutter, POI models, and some static aircraft. I did this to resolve a few of the conflicts with the scenery from the California update. The next change needed to make the scenery compatible with SamScene3D modern cities. The California update had a few issues with that, so I also had to go into the package reorder tool and move the SamScene3D cities down to the bottom to try and resolve some duplicate objects that were being rendered. Microsoft's package reordering tool is pretty basic to terrible as far as usability goes. There are alternatives out there. I think it's MS add-on linker, but unfortunately that tool doesn't support the new SU4 update of additional directories that Microsoft will create. Here are my graphic settings I use for this video, and the important one here to note is the render scaling value. That is at 200, so based on my native resolution, that bumps me up to 6880 by 2880. Render scaling is by far the most demanding setting you can adjust in the graphic settings. This will bring your frame rates to a crawl if you go very high, so use this setting carefully. These are the other settings which fall into the category of the generic graphic settings, where you can just set it to ultra and it will automatically set a bunch of these for you. These aren't part of the render scaling. They're kind of a separate set. So you can adjust these to whatever works. I'm just showing you what I have here. Pretty much, well, everything's on maximum with the terrain level of detail and the object level of detail. I'm using PSXT traffic, AI traffic controller, which is actually connected to real traffic, which is a subscription base, so I get actual live traffic. You'll notice that the settings for AI traffic here are set to low or off. That's because I'm using PSXT and AIG models. And here's my PSXT air traffic controller settings. Pretty much I'll have everything maxed out here. Target is 100%, and the parking is 500 and 500. And the altitude, I think, I've set to 48,000. So in a 30-mile range, that's about as high as I think this goes. Well, that's the end of my intro here, so enjoy the flight. I just did a loop basically around the KLAX Los Angeles area just to show you some of the differences, or no differences, with the SamScene install and the MSFS California update.
Clear to start engine. Set parking brake. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard our flight. We would like to bring to your attention this automatically. Pull the nearest mask, place it over your nose and mouth, Pull
Cockpit
the
to
straps
ground.
to adjust your
We have a
mask
good
and
engine
keep
start.
breathing normally.
You can disconnect.
Ensure your
Sky condition.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Altimeter tree 004. ILS runway 24 right. ILS runway 24 left. ILS runway 25 right and IRO. Sky condition clear. Angeles Airport Information Hotel 23000 Zulu. Wind 249er at 10. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 28. Dew point 2. Altimeter tree 004. ILS runway 24 right, ILS runway 24 left, ILS runway 25 right and ILS runway 25 left in use. Landing and ILS runway 24 left, ILS runway 25 right and ILS runway 25 left in use. Landing and departing runway 24 right, runway 24 left, runway 25 right and runway 25 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have hotel. Los Angeles Airport Information Hotel 23000 Zulu. Wind 249er at 10. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 28. Dew point 2. Altimeter tree 004. ILS runway 24 right, ILS runway 24 left, ILS runway 25 right and ILS runway 25 left in use. Landing and departing runway 24 right, runway 24 left, runway 25 right and runway 25 left.
Seventy knots. 80
Hold
knots.
on.
V2.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are close to landing at the destination airport. Ensure the window is open, the tray table is closed, and the speed.
200. 300. 200.
Minimums, minimums.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Welcome to the destination airport. Please keep your seatbelt fastened and don't get up from your seat until the aircraft is completely stopped in the terminal. Gladly help you with the process. To captain and crew, we thank you for flying with us. We wish you a happy stay.